What exactly was it about the interview, other than those few select things that I mentioned, that kind of set everybody on a course to go after these parents and call them liars?
Well, I think anytime a parent's interview comes out, it's so easy for the public and the true crime community to automatically make parallels with the infamous Chris Watts interview. But there were some interesting things here. As you mentioned, not only were there mentions of Emmanuel in past tense, but no matter how their voice was breaking, there was not a single tear squeezed out, not by Rebecca and not by Jake. And it almost came across as performative, as though they were trying to force their voice to break and force themselves to seem sad. And what was really interesting, too, about Jake's interview is he seems very distraught and having a difficult time conveying the words. But then the moment he starts talking about Yucaipa and how they've had a past history with football there and the city, he immediately just even-keeled, total normal tone of voice as though nothing happened, where usually when we have seen parents who are truly distraught and grief-stricken and fearful, that tone carries through the entire interview. So it just felt a little off-putting and performative.
So talk to me a little bit about Jake's, past, his criminal record, and in particular, an ex-wife named Vanessa, who told police that she had been trying to nurse their 10-week-old baby, but that something was wrong with that baby, took that baby to the hospital, and what happened then?
So this incident happened back in October of 2018, and there's conflicting reports as to what exactly happened. Vanessa claims one version, and then Jake claims another. But the gist of it is that, to your point, the baby was not nursing. Then later that evening, she asked Jake to feel the baby's back, to which when he did, according to the affidavit, this is their word, not mine, he felt a crackle. So she brought the baby to the hospital, and I want to read this directly because the officer writing the affidavit said that the doctors at the Loma Linda University Medical Center said that the baby had, quote, acute fractured rib, healing fractures of 6 ribs, a skull fracture, a brain hemorrhage, swelling of the neck, and a healing fractured leg bone. And what's very interesting about this, too, is later when Jake returned home from the hospital, allegedly his sister had opened up his iPad and the recent browser tab, and there was a search for how to feed a baby with broken ribs, a search that took place before they even went to the hospital. Now, Jake says he wasn't the one to make that search, but that coupled with everything else in this incident, it's pretty alarming.
All right, I want to play something. Earlier today, a Yucaipa resident named Heather Walker, apparently she attended the vigil for Emmanuel on Sunday, and she said she spoke to some Big Five employees at that vigil. And my colleague Elizabeth Vargas spoke with Heather Walker and asked her if the employees said anything about Rebecca or the baby on the day of the kidnapping, and this is the answer.
From what they told me, nobody saw the baby.
They saw her, but not the baby, because that's what we've heard about people who were at the football game that she had been at previously. She said she had left the football game to go buy her other son a mouth guard that he needed to play. That's why she was at the store, she said. But nobody at that football game saw the baby either.
No.
That's troubling. And there's a lot of talk about Rebecca's black eye, Annie. What do you make of what's being said about, she pointed, I got hit towards the side of the black eye.
Almost immediately, once that interview footage came out, people were skeptical about the black eye, saying that it looked as though it was in the various stages of healing. It wasn't a fresh black eye. And there have been some eyewitnesses out there who have said that she allegedly was spotted with this black eye as early as August 3rd. There also have been some Big Five employees on social media speaking out in addition to the behavior from the alleged day of the kidnapping, saying that Rebecca had gone to the Big Five the night before, asked the cashiers if they had CCTV footage of the parking lot because the week prior her car had been broken into. Now that's all alleged at this point. That's according to some of the employees, but that seems very interesting too, that possibly she was trying to suss out the situation before they had their grand master plan the following day.
Very troubling, and I'll bet you that the police have been looking into it, and they're not telling us about it. But if they have been asking those same questions, they will have those answers in the file. Annie Elise, good to have you. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.